morning all. This is Srividya, Assistant Professor, Department of CSIT. In the today's session, I am going to discuss structures in C and the need of structures in C. This is the overview of the presentation. What is a structure? Why do we need structures in C program? How to declare a structure? How to initialize a structure? And accessing of the structure members. So, structures in C, it's a derived data type. See, as we have discussed the concept of data types, I have told you that three data types are classified into three types: primary data types, derived data types, and user defined data types. So structure is a derived data type and it is a collection of elements of heterogeneous data. So what is collection of elements of heterogeneous data? Suppose consider an array. How to declare an array? Int a of 50 is equals to, or else int a of 5. Int a of 5 is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is compile time initialization of 1D array. This is compile time initialization of 1D array. So what is an array? All the elements must be of same type. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the elements that are of type integer. Suppose if you want to store the student data like his roll number, marks and name of a particular student. Suppose I want to maintain a record of a student, like I want to store the name of the student, the marks of the student and the roll number of the particular student. Can I do with arrays? No, it is not possible with arrays, because if you take the roll number is of integer type. If you consider marks are float. Suppose a student got 98.5. So this is a decimal number. And the name, suppose consider any name, okay, Rahul. So I have taken the name of the student as Rahul. Rahul is again a name. It is a string. Okay. So one is of string type and one is of float type and one is of integer type. So if you want to group all the three data types under array, so it is not possible to do with arrays, because array accepts only same type of data. So that's why to overcome this, we have this concept structures in C. Structure is a collection of, it's a heterogeneous collection of elements of different data items under a single name. You can do with structures. Declaration of a structure. How to declare a structure? The variables of the structure can be declared inside the main function or after the structure declaration. So always a structure declaration is done through struct keyword. So the declaration of structure is struct name, data type, member 1, data type, member 2, so on, semicolon, brace close and semicolon. So what it is? The structure, if you want to declare the detail under the structure name, so the keyword we have to use as struct and the name of the structure. So and what we are doing, we are grouping different data types under one single name. So that name is struct name. And suppose if you want to declare any roll number, you can use the data type as integer. And suppose if you want to use any marks of the student, you can consider as float and name as a string. So string is a array of characters. So you have to use the character data type. So like char a of 50, like that you can declare. So this is the syntax of structure declaration. Syntax or the declaration of a structure. Struct name, data type, member 1, data type, member 2. Suppose if I want to convert the same to an example, like suppose struct student int roll number, float, marks, char, name of 50. Like this you can declare. So this is the keyword struct and struct name. Structure name I have taken as student because I am storing the data of a student. So student contains his name, marks and the roll number of a particular student. I want to store this information. I can store using this declaration. So the same example we have taken here, struct student, char name of 50, int age. So you can take, depends on what type of data you can store. Here we have taken age of a student and his percentage. Percentage is obviously represented in float. So you can declare. And int main struct student S1. So see, here I have not used any variable till now. Roll number, marks and name are the members of the structure. Roll number, name, marks are the members of the structure. Or else you can take, this is just a template or a student template. So if you want to store the data, so it's just a template. Memory will not be allocated for this declaration. So when you can, memory will be allocated if you have a variable, and if you have created a variable, or if you have declared a variable, then only a memory will be allocated, because there should be a variable to access these elements. So here roll number, name, marks are just the members of the student. They are the members. So if you want to declare, so this is data of the first student. So it is S1. Okay, I have taken the variable name as S1. Or else you can write like this, int main struct student S1. This is the name of the variable. Now memory will be allocated. And so for this declaration, how many bytes of memory will be allocated? Roll number, let's consider 4 bytes. And marks, 4 bytes. Actually, we have taken here as the data type as float. So float 4 bytes, integer 4 bytes, character 1 byte. But here it is an array. How many we have taken here? The size of the array is 50. So 50 into 1, it is 50. So total, so 58 bytes were allocated for this declaration. Now how to access the members of the structure? We have, like said, we can declare the structure by using the struct keyword. It's a keyword. Struct student, int roll number, name, marks, whatever the data or the members you can access. But there is there should be a variable to access the members of the structure. That variable we have taken as S1. So now to access the members of the structure, you can use the dot operator. Accessing is done through dot operator. So the members of these structures can be accessed with the help of the dot operator. This dot operator is also called the member operator. If the structure variables are pointers, then the structure members are accessed by using the arrow operator. That we will discuss in the later session. It is also called the indirect selection operator. So normally if you want to access the members of the structure, you have to use the dot operator with a variable. Okay. So in the previous data, what we have seen, it is name, char name of 50, int roll number, float, marks and S1. So like this you have declared your structure members. And we need a variable to access the members of the structure. So now how to access the members of the structure? Only with the help of the dot operator you can access. So now I will call S1 dot name, S1 dot roll number. If you remember accessing of an array, how you will access the elements in the array? With the index positions. Suppose this is your array 0, 1, 2, 3. You want to retrieve the third element in the list. If you want to retrieve this element in the list, how you will retrieve? It's A of 3, because the element 5 is present at the index position 3. So you can retrieve through A of 3 position. So now if you want to access the members of the structure, you have to use the dot operator. S1 dot name, S1 dot roll number and S1 dot marks. Like this you can access the members of the structure. So this is the sample program of read and print the details of a single student. 2 students here I have taken. Suppose if I ask you to read and print the data of the 2 student or single student. I want to read and print the data of a single student. How you will declare? So first you need to declare name of the student, his age, roll number, and I'm asking only to print the data of a single student. So you will declare here S1. only S1. Here we have taken S1 and S2, means I am calculating the data, or I am reading and printing the data for 2 students. Suppose I have 3 students. I want to read and print the data for 3 students. So what I will do? S1, S2, S3. Okay. So char name of 50 int age roll number. So I am taking only for student 1. So printf enter student 1 details, scanf percentile S, percentile D and percentile D. Why we have taken percentile S? Because we are entering the name of a student. Name is a string. So the format specifier for string is percentile S. And we have taken the age of a student. Age is again an integer number. Roll number is again an integer number. So the format specifiers for roll number and age are percentile D and name is percentile S. Okay. So depends on the number of users you want to enter, or depends on the number of students data you want to enter. That number of students data you can consider, but accessing is done only through the dot operator. Here printf percentile S, again percentile D, S1 dot name, S1 dot age and S1 dot roll number. If you observe clearly, see here, I have not specified address of operator for S2 dot name or else S1 dot name. In the both the cases, I have not used the address of operator, whereas S1 dot age, address of S1, address of S1 dot roll number, and because we are giving the input through scanf function. But why we have not taken address of operator for name? Because as name itself is a string. As name itself is a string. String means a string is an array of characters. Suppose if you take Rahul as your string, okay, it's an array of characters. So already what is an array? Array contains the base address. Okay, so no need to specify the address while giving the input, because it already has the base address of the array. Next, initialization of string. So the compile time initialization is done directly here. So again, we have taken one more example, struct emp employee data. So I am going to calculate the employee data. Struct name. Employee data contains of employee name, employee ID, employee salary and experience of the particular employee. And here how many employees we have calculated? Here we have taken the data for the 3 employees. Struct E1. You can also write for 2 employees also. But this is a compile time initialization of an structure. So employee name. See the order you have to follow. First I have declared name. Okay. So write the name first. Then employee ID. Okay. Employee ID. 1 to 3 is his ID. So that you can write. And employee salary. Employee salary was specified, and employee experience, 6.7 years of experience. Okay. So like that you have to follow whatever the members you have taken in an order, that way you have to give the input here. So and the second employee also, struct emp E2 is equals to, because when you are initializing, you have to follow this one. The keyword we have used struct, and the name of the structure is, structure name is emp, and for which employee you are writing. I have taken the employee as E2. This is your variable. So with the help of variable only and with using the dot operator, you can access the members of the structure. Is equals to, like this you have to initialize. This is compile time initialization. So here I have taken the name obviously it's a string, so you have to include the name as in double quotes. Again ID, salary and experience of that particular employee. So this is in the session, this session we have seen in this particular video. We have discussed how to declare a structure, how to initialize the structure and how to access the members of the structure. We can declare the structure by using the struct keyword and the structure name, and whatever the data you are writing, that will come under the members of the structure, and all the members of the structure can be accessed only through the dot operator. And initialization can be either compile time initialization you can do, or else runtime initialization. Compile time initializations and runtime initializations were already discussed in the concept of arrays. You can go through that. Okay. So compile time initialization directly you will give while declaring like this. This is compile time initialization. Runtime initialization is this one. You can use the scanf function and you can enter the name, roll number and name of age, anything, whatever the data at the runtime. So that's all for this session. In the next session, we will see array of structures.